Okay, so we're not gonna know where that one went.
Last one hit the end of the dot, and they lost it and had to let go. So I think this one might.
I think we're gonna float out that way.
Farther.
Yeah. They let both ends loose.
I saw that.
So, okay. She was still.
They make more of that every day.
Yeah. She was still floating when they cut her loose. So, and she was still going that way too. So good luck.
Depending on what car, if we know what vehicle we're after, it's a little easier. If we know if it's steel or aluminum rims, is kind of a big deal for us pulling it out. We always try to grab the bottom of the vehicle, so if it's on its tires, we want to grab the rims. If it's on the side or whatever, you'll have to try to paint the picture back to us as best you can, so we know what we should be grabbing. We had an incident down at Grand Trunk, I think it was, and that car fought like hell coming up because there's so much rocks, and we just grabbed, I think we grabbed the wrong point initially, and it just kind of made it harder and harder to skip over top of all the rocks. So if we know where to grab it, we can kind of help spin the car and roll over what we need to come over. But usually we'll use the 4-foot double eye loops, and that will pass through rims. You want to show them? Hook the rim.
I'll show you on this wheel right here. So these are our usual recovery straps. We try to stay away from valve stems. I know you guys aren't going to be able to determine that underwater. It's pretty dark down there, so if you can hook it however you hook it, we'll deal with it later. So usually what we'll do is it'll go through. We can come through the backside, completely wrap the wheel just like that. Hooks goes into both ends here. If we're having issues with the hooks, you can run through and it'll create a sling on it. Grabs it just like that, hook goes through. This weakens it. If we can double them, it's stronger. Otherwise, you can also do this with larger rims. Go through one. Doesn't work with gloves on very well, but and come back out the other.
We need to know when we're pulling on it. We can feel the tension on our trucks. If you do that slip-through noose that he showed, we would like to know that. If that's how you have to do it, great, we can make it work. But we know when to kind of ease off tension and not snap that and have to go through all of it again. This strap, you can do everything that one does too. So you can feed that through, and that'll be, as far as we're concerned, we'll leave that to who's going underwater and going to handle that. However you guys think you can handle that underwater if you have a preference. This loop, this strap is much easier, I think, for us with our winter gloves on winter recoveries. So I imagine that's going to be best for you, but if you think something different, we'll send you down with whatever piece you guys think you can handle better down there. If it is steel rims, we try to send this down, and that's super easy. We'll get that tied off and secured to our cable or a synthetic line. We do have synthetic lines available to us, just leaders essentially for fishing, really. We'll tie off this synthetic recovery rope, go down and just, steel rims all have those little holes all over them. Just put the finger in the hole and tell us to pull. The odds of that coming off are very, very low once we start pulling, because it keeps tension on it. Now, if we start coming up a hill and it rolls and that wheel does roll, it is possible for that steel finger to come out of the rim. Then we'll have to reconnect. So,
we don't typically use these on aluminums because the holes are so large.
If it's not on all fours underwater, it doesn't matter a whole lot how we grab it. We still prefer to grab suspension. If it's a front-wheel drive car, try to get us the front studs. Usually the strongest suspension. The backs are just kind of there to hold it. On a truck or an SUV, the backs are usually pretty tough. We can put a lot of pressure on that. So that's the only other caveat to grabbing wheels is what end of the vehicle. If you can get us the motor end, that's always better. if it's on its side, you know, leaf springs, axles, anything like that works. And even, I'm gonna grab the strap. If the windows have been blown out, or you can blow them out, we have done a lot of recoveries where we just simply wrap the B pillar or the A pillar and pull it up. The only thing with that is we can do this with a chain or a strap. If you use a strap, obviously, you got to make sure the glass is gone and the edge is clear so we don't cut the shit out of that. But we can send chains down to have the same exact, you know, we can loop them, lasso them. Our chains, if we try to send you guys down with tape pre-wrapped on crevices if you're going to have a loop like that. So if you're going to go down with this big hook and hook something for us to pull out, we'll try to make that loop for you on this end so it's easier, kind of like you have with the strap. So it doesn't just fall apart underwater.
Can you find out if it's upside down?
Vehicle's upright, and she says it's sideways to shore.
Sideways to shore, and right where all the bubbles are is where she's at.
Yep. She's deploying they're searching it right now, and then she's gonna deploy the buoy.
Front, rear, which side's which?
I'll get that for you in a second.
How close to the end of the dock are we?
Where the bubbles are. She's on top of it now. So I rolled out there pretty far. We might. We might have to pull it out this way.
So I'm thinking if it drifted this way on its own,
Yeah.
I think we're best off pulling off this right side. Go center.
I
Gives
would,
me enough of the offset.
I would go offset just a little bit. Probably get your wheel lift right on that line on the far side instead of center. Good thing I was holding it, huh? Alright, boss. This hook opens and closes. There's a release right here on the back. Once it closes, it locks. You'll have to push that forward and it opens back up. And then here's the strap. Alright, we'll feed you cable as you go.
The buoy's on the rear of the vehicle.
Okay, if we can get him to get the strap through the wheel on the rear, I'm guessing the rear's facing that way?
I think that's what. Yeah.
Okay. If we can get this.
confirm once they get back down there.
Okay.
But you want it on the rear.
You want it on the front or the rear? It seems like the rear is facing that way. The closest wheel to us on the dock side. You see the bubbles? That's from the cabin.
That one's not. No, yeah, that doesn't look like it though. You're looking at straight the cable. Looks like it's not.
Looks like it should be attached to the rear.
He said he hooked it to the back part of the cabin.
Oh, really?
He called it something. I'm not sure.
Because you're about to see the truck here, right there.
Yeah, B pillar. Yeah, so he talked in a weird language. Oh, there it is.
What goes first? A pillar, B pillar, C pillar in the back.
Yep.
In my lesson, there's a bunch of lines coming out.
I used to do windshields, so I know.
So where's the A pillar?
A pillar is the very front that the windshield's attached to.
And then the middle one's the B?
That would be the B.
So that's what he said he hooked it to.
So he's probably hooked to the far side because that window's knocked out. Got your wheel chock?
Slippery there.
Yes. got it?